ready for the Blackout Part 2?
Come to this blackout ready to have fun.
In July 16th in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's almost time for the blackout. Hey, is you ready for the blackout? Hey.
Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I am coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 1, the reunion part 1. So, yeah, it's up late. I don't know what's wrong with my words today. It's up a day late because I didn't get to see the show on Sunday night, and then Monday I needed to watch the link before I went on my lunch break, and I couldn't find the link anywhere. So my lunch break came and went, and they posted it maybe around 3 or 4, but I wasn't doing no video that late, so hence here we are today. Better late than never, right? And it's a reunion show, so you guys know how reunion shows go. It's not much to talk about because it's already happened over the season. I will say, though, that everybody had a bad attitude. Like, I don't know. Well, not everybody, but, well, we'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about what everybody looked like. So, right off the bat, this is a first reunion, and as first reunions go, sometimes the fashions are not on point. I thought everybody was just too fucking sparkly. I mean, it was entirely too much sparkle and glitter and razzmatazz and all of that. I thought I was looking at a Love and Hip Hop reunion for a minute there. I was just like, no, entirely no. My worst, I'm telling you, was Giselle. I don't know what Giselle had on. All that tinkering and just like one big gold ball. Did not like her look at all. The earrings was too much. It was just too much. I thought Karen looked beautiful. Karen has a very nice body, I am noticing. Karen is actually very sexy. She has quite a bit of sex appeal, even with all of the, you know, and everything. She really does. I thought she looked great in her dress. She and Katie, who I hate to admit, but I think she and Katie looked the best. And I actually think Katie looked really, really pretty. She's a beautiful girl. It's too bad she just got such a fucking stank attitude. And speaking of stank attitudes, what's up with Charisse? What is wrong with everybody? You know, the good thing about Potomac is it's a new show. So everything is kind of trivial and surface. The beefs are nothing serious. You know, it's nothing that makes you hate anybody. And that's the good thing. So this whole episode really was just one big shade fest. Just everybody throwing shade. I don't feel like Andy had much control over everybody. And I don't think he even tried to have much control. I think he just let it fly. And that's pretty much how it went. But yeah, Charisse's attitude was really bad. I couldn't understand why. I was like, I hope they get rid of that bitch. She's just boring and blah and no personality and seems very stuffy and snobby, even still, even with her trying to show us her, you know, her Baltimore side. I just, I think Charisse is just, you know, Katie, even though I don't like her, they definitely need to bring her back because she is the, you know, she is part of the conflict with the other girls. So she definitely will come back. She has such a, she's just so, Karen had the time of her life. The thing that's likable about Karen is that even though I believe that she 100% believes in this whole etiquette and, you know, legacy and legend and, you know, this is what the ladies of Potomac do. Even though I think she really believes in all of that, I still don't feel like Karen takes herself that seriously. I mean, she laughed the entire reunion. I really I like Karen. Even with Karen's all of that, I really do like Karen. Giselle is a difficult person. I still like Giselle, but I understand why people don't. You know, Giselle's just her flippant ways, kind of stuck in her ways. But, you know, I know a lot of people. I have a lot of girlfriends that are a lot like Giselle. So, you know, I don't think Giselle is that bad of a person. She has her ways. I like Robin. Robin's hair was out of this world. That's the best description I can give. It's just like, girl, you go from, you know, simple, cool Robin on the show to like all of this. Child, it was just the going and the going and the going and the guy said, I also think that Ashley looked really nice, okay? Understated. Sometimes understated is better. She wasn't doing nothing too fantastic, but, you know, considering all the rest of everybody else up on the panel, you know what? Not too fantastic is all right with me. So I think my best was Katie, my worst, Giselle, hands down. We start out asking them how did they feel about being on the show. They said that it was very hard to get used to. They didn't realize all of the pressure and the scrutiny that comes with the public eye being on their lives. Katie said she didn't take too well to the criticism of her, you know, how she handles things and her just really putting the pressure on Andrew to marry her. But I'm thinking to myself, like, well, that's what you put out there. Like, we didn't just come up with that on our own. That's what I think they don't really realize is, well, you know, maybe it was the editing of the show. But what we saw was a bitch that was desperate to get married. And while we were talking about her getting married, you know, Andy notices that she doesn't have her ring on. And she was just like, yeah, she gave the ring back yesterday. She was real curt about it. I guess we're going to talk about it in the next part of the reunion, and I can't wait because Katie gets on my fucking nerves and I want to see her squirm. Moving on to Karen, married to the Black Bill Gates, Uncle Jessup daddy. Cherie said that that's how she introduced herself to her. You know, I'm Karen and I am married to the Black Bill Gates. I can 100% see her introducing herself that way. Karen said that she was only playing, but I was just like, who even says that when you introduce yourself to somebody? I tell you, you get a bitch that got some money but ain't came from money, still want to act like they got a lot of money. Child, I tell you. About this old gala. Did you turn Katie down because you were so busy, or is it just because of, you know, for other reasons? And Karen was mad, huh? She was just like, I know that this hoe is not talking about me. It was a precursor to the old gala. That it was something that was given very importantly, by the way, for Alzheimer's, you know. And Katie owes the entire disease of Alzheimer's an apology because she talked about that inside the living room barbecue that Karen was trying to give. Karen was just like, you know, it was very important. Katie, you know, she said that she raised a lot of money for whatever her foundation was. You know, she and Giselle and Robin got to arguing over her non-event. I mean, I guess Karen did have something, okay? We still waiting on Katie's shit. Speaking of the old gala, Karen, when exactly is it going to take place? Well, it would be somewhere around 2 years because we have to raise money. It takes time. Cherie said if you got a damn 503c or whatever it's called, then it should be ready to roll. Okay, we not ready to roll. And while we talking about Karen, bitch, what about your kitchen and all of its not up-to-date appliances? Well, that is my business. Why is everybody worried about what I have in my kitchen? It's not that big a deal. I mean, you know, you just would think that somebody who proclaims to be married to the Black Bill Gates, and when we think of Bill Gates and all the money that he's had, you know, that he wouldn't have the same shit in his kitchen that I got in my kitchen. Because my shit is white in my kitchen, but damn it, I ain't married to the damn Black Bill Gates. And then Andy asked Giselle, you know, well, what about you in your home? Did you get pressure about that? And Giselle was just like, well, my house is my home, and it's for me, and it's for my girls. And Katie was just like, yeah, but you rent your house, though. And Giselle didn't say nothing back. I was cracking up. I started cracking up because I was just like, oh, bitch, you so fucking shady. They was throwing so much shade at Giselle. By the time they had Charisse over there when Andy said, well, word on the street is that you're the word on the street. And Charisse said, it must be a small street. I said, bitch. You ain't gonna pull it today. Oh my God, they had such a problem with Giselle. And Giselle was holding firm though, but damn, I was like, they was all around. You guys, they was just throwing the insults back and forth and back and forth. Now we move on to Katie and Andrew. Is the motherfucker on drugs? Okay, and where the fuck is his digit? You know, I had then forgot that, you know, because somebody had said and mentioned in my comments that he was missing a finger. And you guys know how sensitive I am about my thumb. For those of you guys who don't know, my thumb was cut off when I was a baby. I stuck it in the spokes of my mother's exercise bike, so it chopped off. And the motherfucker grew back. Because I got a little bit of snake in me. But when it grew back, it grew back short. And the nail grows curved. You know, so a lot of times people be like, why you just got that one curved nail? Now, I'm not trying to bring back the 90s, y'all. It's just that that's the way this nail grows. And I've actually been very self-conscious. You know, you guys have helped me get over it, though. So I have sympathy for motherfuckers that didn't chop their fingers and shit off. So I didn't even pick up on it. But yeah, they was talking about his missing digit. And she was just like, well, he chopped his finger off. You know, Katie. I was like, girl, if you could just Maybe if she could just come across a different way. She just so, ugh. Move on to Ashley, her thottish behavior. I don't think Ashley is a thought. She's a married woman. She seems to be respectable in her marriage. Her and her husband seem to have a cool enough marriage. I mean, even though we might not be the way that they are in their relationship, they're married and they're fine. Giselle calling her a thought, I thought that was not really the coolest thing to do. Because, now the girl is young. Her interpretation of fun and partying might not be the same as Robin and Giselle. So the fact that she's humping, Robin's leg, it seemed to bother Giselle more than it bothered Robin. But then Robin seemed to kind of jump on the bandwagon and act like it bothered her that much. But originally it didn't seem like it was just more so like, oh, this bitch is tripping. Like, get off of me. Leave me alone. But it wasn't like all that serious until Giselle started to make it seem like it was all that serious. And I guess Robin has her other reasons of not really liking Ashley, but we'll talk about that in a second. But Ashley, do you think that the girls hate on you? She was like, yeah, sometimes it does seem like that. Okay, that I work too hard to try to be these girls' friends. Karen was just like, there's nothing that you have that I won't. Giselle says that she's not jealous of her. I don't know if I feel like they're jealous of her per se. I just think that they don't respect her because of the fact that she's so young. Katie says that they're jealous, though, because she's got it going on, and they don't. Okay, specifically Giselle, honey. Katie wanted to pin it to Giselle every time she could. She is so fucking over that bitch. She don't like Giselle. And that's why it's gonna be drama with them next season. So you guys can look forward to them two coming back for sure. Andy asked her, would she invite any of these women back to the beach house? She was like, Katie, girl, you welcome. They was all like, bitch, we ain't trying to come back to that old hot ass heat box that you wasn't even trying to turn the fucking air conditioning on. Then we get to Robin and Juan. Okay, it's a story that nobody really understands. What's the deal, you guys? Well, they're together, but they're not together. They have sex, I think she said once a week. But that's more of a, we just need to get off, okay, let off some steam. All right, not too much passion, definitely not no love there. Neither one of them, as far as she knows, neither one of them are dating. Okay, but she says that she didn't feel like she could tell him that he couldn't date anybody. Although she would be bothered if she found out that he was dating somebody. So you guys, it's like, what? I'm wondering if Robin is in denial. Like, the fact that she was hurt, she's just not willing to admit that she really is in love with him. When they asked her if she was in love with him, she said no. I just don't get why you would waste your life. I'm not saying it's a waste. I mean, because the companionship obviously is more important to them than actual love. I mean, I know marriages go through that thing. You in love with them at some time, and sometimes you just barely like that motherfucker, But again, it's about the commitment. I just don't know. She said that she's there. The kids, it's important for the kids and all. Maybe they'll get back to being in love. But I was just like, why are you denying yourself that there might be Mr. Right might be out there? She said she was hurt. He's an NBA player. He cheated a lot. It wasn't just that one time. It was a buildup over the years, and that she had, turned a blind eye like pretty much 99% of the NBA, NBA wives do. And if you're going to be with an NBA player in the prime of their career, playing and all of that, then you have got to deal with infidelity. It is... I bet you there ain't one basketball player. I know you guys gonna say Steph Curry. It ain't one basketball player that ain't got it in them. Okay, so yeah, she said that she doesn't know what's gonna happen, but maybe they will get there. She said the reason that they even were back together is because of the fact that the guy who stole all their money through the Ponzi scheme still would like to get more information on this Ponzi scheme, but this isn't the time or place, I guess. But when that guy stole all their money, he felt so guilty, I suppose, that he ended up killing himself. So, and he was their best friend. So, that kind of brought them back together. And now they're kind of in this halfway pseudo, not quite really a real relationship. Then they asked Ashley, well, Ashley, did you feel bad Googling her and, putting out information about her bankruptcy, considering your mom is going through the same thing? And Ashley was like, well, I don't necessarily feel bad about Googling them because that's what I do. When I meet people, I Google them. That's a new thing. That's what people do now. If you old school, maybe you're not used to Googling folks, but yeah, you best believe that, folks is running your name through quite a bit of searches cases nowadays. But she said she did regret putting her information out like that. Like, she shouldn't have done that. But she didn't think it was bad that she Googled her. So then that's when her and Robin got into it. You know, she said that Robin treated her bad, had an attitude, was side-eyeing her the entire time when she first met her. And Robin was like, bitch, you was humping on me. That's why. She was just like, yeah. But so Ashley was kind of justifying, you know, the shit was wrong. Okay, you was gossiping. I would have just done better if you would just apologize and just be like, yeah, I shouldn't have did it. And that's that. It was funny when Andy did bring up the apology when he had Karen apologize to Charisse about, what was they apologizing about? Oh, the fight that they had at Charisse's house. Y'all, Charisse so boring to me. Like, I don't even remember. I skipped that whole part, didn't I? But Karen was just like, well, if I did anything to offend you, and Andy was just like, scared. Let me stop you for a minute, because this seems to be the whole Real Housewives franchise, not really apology. If I offended you, well, yes, you already have offended the person. So what you need to say is, I'm sorry that I did that at your party, and let that be it. All this, if I did something to you, it's really not a real apology. So then we move on to, race. And I guess that's going to be part of the next episode. But, is Katie black enough? Katie says, I don't pull out my black meter and see if I'm black enough today. I think it's really dumb. Dumb and dumber. They always trying to make me feel like I'm not black enough. And I'm just like, as a black person, race, it comes up a lot. Like, this shit that we say and do amongst ourselves as black people that I noticed on the show. I don't have any close biracial friends, but I imagine, it seems like now more so than ever, this whole thing with biracial, maybe because of the racial climate in the United States right now, but this whole thing about biracial and I'm not black, I'm biracial, black people get offended by people saying that, and biracial people don't understand why black people don't realize that they want to recognize both of their parents, whatever it might be. So it's just like all this tension here, but I just be looking at it like, and maybe it's because I don't, that's not nothing that I deal with. My friends, we all black, and we just claim to be black. So, when you hear that, I just be like, Giselle brings up the fact that her father was in the civil rights movement, and, so it was something, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, and she feels like Katie is not proud about her blackness. I don't even know if that's what I think that it is with Katie. I don't know what I think about Katie. She's complex. Like, something about her makes me feel like she's just unhappy, period. Not necessarily because she's still trying to identify with whatever race it is. It's just something about Katie. She just foul. She just stank. She just funky. She just seems nasty to me. So I don't know, y'all. But like I said, they gonna bring up more of this shit next week. I am so glad that this show is over and I'll be off on Mondays, you guys, again. But yeah, that's pretty much it on part 1. We'll get to part 2 next week. Alright, you guys, so that's it. I'm gonna try to get Love and Hip Hop at ATL up today. I hate when I'm off schedule like this. You guys know the Capricorn in me I'm a very scheduled person. This shit is throwing me out, but I'm doing this before work, and so hopefully I can get everything done today. You guys, remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.